Some breaking news in the sports memorabilia world. The Ohtani 50-50 ball. The first time we've gotten a 50-50. There's a little lawsuit pending now for the ball, the historic ball that is sitting at Goldin Auctions. Be right back. What's going on, sports card hobby family? Back again. It's another day. It's another sports card. And today we're talking about a little bit of a very important sports memorabilia. It's going to be a juicy little episode. If you did miss last night, we had Off-Centered, me, Neo, Steve, and Ham. Good times. That's our bi-weekly Off-Centered show, so make sure to check that out. Huge thanks to the video sponsor, Pristine Auction. I won an item going back over this past weekend that I had been kind of hunting for, bidding on similar ones that were up on Pristine Auction, and it is a signed hoverboard from Back to the Future 2. It's a replica hoverboard, and it's signed by Michael J. Fox, Leah Thompson, Christopher Lloyd, and Tom Wilson. I always get the name wrong on the last one, but it's the guy that played Biff. I mistakenly said that it was maybe the dad, who I was corrected. Thank you, Brendan. Crispin Glover. But no, it is Biff that signed this thing. So I was actually more excited about that. I should have it tomorrow, and we'll show it in an upcoming video. Thank you to Pristine Auction. Make sure to check them out. I've got links down below to give you $10 off your first victory, your first win at auction over at Pristine. Also, don't forget, if you're new to PSA, first-time submitters, $25 off with the SCD25 code. I've had a lot of people taking advantage of this promo. It's great for people that just want to try out PSA. One card minimum, $25 off, SCD25 at the shipping and billing screen when you go to submit. All right, so we've got some pretty big news here broken by collect.com. It says here that Max Mattis, the just turned 18-year-old that went to this game, that was in the scrum battling for this ball, he has filed a lawsuit to stop the auction. It's at Goldin Auction. I saw this on IG. Ken did one of his kind of promo deals where he's showing the ball and kind of showing it going into the vault and all that goodness. This, of course, is the big-time baseball, the 50-50 ball from Ohtani. Ohtani on top of the sports card hobby world. For baseball card prospects, in quotation marks, or just active players, this guy is really taking the world by storm. And so a lot of excitement. At that Fanatics Collect Sotheby's auction, there was a $335,000 sale for an Ohtani card there as well. I mean, he's top of mind right now. One of the hottest, if not the hottest players in baseball, and certainly in baseball cards for modern active players. So what we've got here is we've got attorneys have filed a suit on behalf of Max against Goldin and the man who emerged with the ball. It's listed here as Chris Belansky. And his friend who is marketing the ball, I guess Kelvin Ramirez is what it says here in the article, saying the ball was in fact Mattis's first. The suit was filed in Dade County, Florida, looking for injunctive relief to stop the sale of this ball. It's supposed to go up on Goldin, opening bid at $500,000 starting on Friday, or you can just buy it straight out up until October 9th for $4.5 million. So the story here that it says is that Mattis firmly grabbed the ball in his left hand, successfully obtaining possession of the 50-50 ball. And the statement here in the lawsuit, the accusation against Belansky, is that Belansky wrapped his legs around Max's arm. This sounds funny, like some sort of a wrestling move, and used his hands to wrangle the ball out of Max's hands, stealing the ball for himself. Then Belansky had the ball authenticated by Major League Baseball and then left the ballpark with the piece of history. So there is supposedly video/photo evidence of this scrum that has been filed with this lawsuit. And this, of course, is really interesting because there is a ton of money on the line for this thing. To be honest with you, I can't really blame Max. Whether he was 50-50 on this thing, I feel like we've got to see this in instant replay, like an NFL replay, like who caught the ball? Was it an interception? Was it a catch? But I really don't blame Max. He just turned 18 years old. Even if he had the ball in his hand for 1 second, he possessed it. And you've got to move the chains. No, but seriously, and maybe if you're Max, you're just trying to, I'm speculating here. We're in full speculation mode. Maybe the thought here is, hey, I just want a piece of this thing. Maybe Belansky, took this out of my hands and he's the one that left the ballpark with it. He wrangled it away from me, but I had the ball first and we should split it in some capacity. Maybe that's what, I don't know how these things work. Maybe that's what the judge will say is, hey, the thing goes to auction, you guys split it 50-50, 50-50 ball, split it 50-50, no puns intended. Maybe they were intended. But that would actually make a little bit more sense, assuming that there's a case here. Like I haven't seen the evidence, the video footage, the photo footage. But if there is video evidence of this guy having it and like he's on the ground with it, and then one of these things where it's like the bottom of the dog pile in football where the guy like strips it out, at the end type thing, where he's using his legs to get the ball out, whatever, kind of finagled it out with a wrestling move, then I think that Max probably has some sort of a case here. I don't know what the rules are catching a baseball and ownership of the baseball in a ballpark. I mean, do you have to lay on it for 3 seconds? Are you down by contact? How does this work? And I guess a judge is going to have to come in and tell us exactly what that looks like. But Max is saying that he possessed the ball. He had possession, crossed the goal line, and Belansky, named in this collect.com article, is the one that kind of wrangled it away from him and ran out of the stadium with it. Which, hey, if you've got a ball that's potentially worth millions of dollars, this is not some sort of a shock that people would be fighting over this ball. This actually takes me back in time a little bit. Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn and Image Comics, one of the founders of Image Comics, he famously bought that 70th home run Mark McGwire ball going back to the late 90s for $3 million. And he also owns the Bonds record balls too. So he's got some pretty amazing home run balls, this guy Todd McFarlane. But I saw something that ball, that 70th home run ball, it's estimated to be worth now about $200,000 or $300,000. So it wasn't a great buy back then. However, one thing that Todd McFarlane mentioned that was kind of a silver lining in this thing is he was making action figures for Spawn and the comic books. On the comic book side, he really wanted to get into sports, specifically Major League Baseball, because he played baseball as a kid. He's a big baseball guy. And that was his in with Major League Baseball. And I think he still makes MLB figurines, action figures, kind of starting lineup type stuff, but kind of a more advanced version. McFarlane makes incredible looking, they're almost like statuesque, these action figures. So it got him in the door. So he said, yes, I may have lost money, with the ball, buying the ball, but all the fanfare and all the news media around it got him into Major League Baseball to be able to create these action figures that he wanted to get into for kind of like the starting lineups of his time, kind of what his version of starting lineups. So anyway, crazy times. What do you guys think of this? Should Max have this ball? Should he have it, period? Or should he share in it with this Belansky guy that came to Goldin Auctions? How's it going to end? Is Goldin going to have to put this thing on hold until they figure it out? It seems to me like, so if it's supposed to start, what is it, tomorrow? It's supposed to go on bid. My assumption is that it delays the auction. But again, I'm no judge or anything, but it just makes sense. If the guy did have possession of the ball, the kid really, well, he's a guy, he's just turned 18, that maybe he gets a piece of the pie, whatever that looks like as it goes to auction. All right, my friends, let me know about this breaking news, your thoughts on the Ohtani 50-50 ball, and maybe someone coming in looking for a little bit of a 50-50 share, or maybe Max wants 100%. Also, don't forget to check out all the links in the video description and in the pinned comments for all of the discounts, the hobby discounts that are down there. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.